This
And
conference will now be
for
recorded.
what we'll do is we'll send this out to everybody so you guys have a copy of everything. So we're really excited. Yeah, we've launched the trigger marketing system for Harry Norman Realtors, and we're really excited about that. It's been a lot of work, both from my team as well as with the marketing staff over at Harry Norman. They put together a really great program, and we're really excited. Today, it's kind of a two-part training system. So today, we're going to focus on what we call trigger marketing. That's our trigger marketing tool for doing property marketing. I like to say property farming, but it's about our property marketing tool, trigger marketing, which many of you probably received notifications for this morning when we launched the program. So what we'll do is we'll go through some of our things with that, and then I'll show you what the live site and kind of all the different things you have. I have some preliminary questions here that I'll go over with as well, and then we can go in there and take a look at all that stuff, and I'll show you all the little nooks and crannies about that. Again, if you guys have questions, there is a section here that you can put all your questions there. Ah, let me make sure everybody's muted here. So thank you for that. Should have mute on everybody. I gotta go through. No, no, I want unmute. Sorry about that. So usually I just have a broadcast thing, but it wasn't working for this for some reason. So, all right, well, a little bit about Quantum Digital. We were founded in 1986 by Jim Damon, who was a lieutenant governor for the state of Michigan. And he retired from public service and moved to Austin, Texas to kind of start his retirement business with a local broker here by the name of J.B. Goodwin. Part of that is Jim was also one of the early architects of the leading real estate companies of the world. So really excited. I've always had a very tight unit with leading real estate. So when we started here in Austin, the idea was we wanted to be able to allow real estate agents to market their properties consistently and have their logos and everything operate without needing to be updated. Fast forward to where we are now, we've brought in these multi-million-dollar digital printers and are able to make things go through the order process simple and fast. That's always been our motto for that. So we've got these great printers that do full digital marketing pieces that we can, we're also a postage facility. Well, we do our own pre-sorting here, so we're a manifest sort center. So we're able to do all that here to make everything go quite quickly, drop off into the postage system and get out there really fast. Some questions I always get is, how long does the ink dry or anything? We don't use any type of ink or anything like that. We use a fuse toner on all of our materials. So everything's fused to the paper, and we are able to incorporate things like QR codes and stuff like that, really exciting stuff onto our postcards and be able to have that move through the system pretty easily. Let's make sure I don't have any other questions pop up. Okay, good. So a few years back, well, gosh, we've done trigger marketing now for about 12, 13 years, but we came up with what we thought was our direct marketing platform, marketing wheel, breaking down real estate marketing in 3 different sections because everything that we do is kind of locking things down into small sections: prospecting, marketing, and networking, and what our tools can do to work within those activities. So the prospecting piece would be what our auto farming campaign, that goes same thing with the networking. That's what we're going to cover next week. Today, we're going to look at what works with our marketing tools. And of course, we have our DIY platform, and that's all available for doing any type of on-demand type of printing or direct mail. but we developed a program called TriggerMarketing. A lot of it had to do with trying to come up with a quick and easy way for real estate agents to market properties quick. Of course, there's no subscription fees or setup fees or anything for that. It's all based within the per piece pricing. Another thing, we were going out to a lot of trade shows and we'd meet real estate agents, and everybody's done this, where they're like, I really have got to start doing more of this. Well, we wanted to make a sales hack, if you will, to make it a little bit easier. So we developed TriggerMarketing with postcards to do that, and we put a system together for it where we can provide a lead developing system under $1 per postcard. And then later on, we added in a Facebook advertising aspect to that, which was really neat. The idea behind it is every day we're getting a data feed from Harry Norman Realtors of all the properties within that data feed. And of those properties, we have the ones that are assigned to a particular agent or a particular group of agents, whether it's two different agents marketing on the same property or sold. When we receive that, we assign that to the account or accounts, and we're able to send email notifications out to those participating people with a quick email that says, hey, proof your postcard, and then order now, and then you can send out 50 postcards to the neighbors around that property. So we also built in a little bit of an algorithm for that neighborhood list building. So we're not just sending it out to anybody in that area. We're looking for homeowners with likewise homes to the property that's being marketed, whether it's either a listed or a sold. So the idea behind TriggerMarketing isn't doing that, hey, this house, I put this house on the market, go check it out. It's about connecting you with possibly your next client and trying to do things as a smart marketing system. So we're utilizing some different language on these. We're using a small property photo because the idea about the postcards are there's interactive channels on there that get people to go to a landing page where they can get all the information about the property that's branded to you. When they do that, we're going to send you their information to help you build your sphere of influence and even hopefully further that conversation along. So the postcard design feature, which this is actually Harry Norman's marketing team came up with this design with, based on some of our best philosophies for trigger marketing. We're using a strong call to action. What is your home worth? Compared to this listing or this recently sold property, what is your home value? Because homeowners do want to know that information. And it could be that striking information that allow them to list their property with you. Compare your home to this one that's sold on 29 Scarsdale Home. We're using a URL and a unique code on a landing page. Now, we own a website called learnmorenow.com. And every postcard has a unique code on it that's tied to the recipient of that postcard. So they can go out to learnmorenow.com, type in their unique code, and then they're going to go out to a landing page for that property. And quite honestly, since the pandemic, most people are interacting with that QR code because we've been conditioned to do that now. When I say most, I'm talking more than double of the people that go out to the website and type it in. There is also an SMS texting feature that they can send a text on their mobile and get information about the property too. But it's an interactive card that's got a web to print feature on here that allows you to kind of interact with the market and have them interact with you. And of course, we're pulling the property photos from the MLS, so all that information is coming directly from that MLS. So I mentioned learnmorenow.com is the site we own. That they go in, they type in a unique code, or they use that QR code. Again, that's what most people are doing. And this is what the website looks like. It's going to have your headshot up here, and then it's going to have all of your contact information there, as well as the Harry Norman logo. It's already pulled. By the way, we've pulled we're linked in with the intranet for Harry Norman. So we've pulled in all the agents. We're pulling in all that contact information. So we have all that together already. Headshots, which I'll show you in a little bit, you can manage online. If you need to update it, I'll show you how to do that. When they go to this landing page, though, you're going to get an email letting you know that John Adams at this address, and it's going to come right to your email inbox from Learn More Now lead notifications. John Adams is visiting the website. Here's his name, mailing address, and if he has a landline phone number, we'll include that. Once they're on that site, we're sending you that contact information, and we're also saving that to your account in a group called Lead Lists. Now, once John Adams is here, he sees this property, and he can, there's some stuff he can do here. Let's say maybe he wants to learn some recent sales trends for the neighborhood. If he clicks to contact me or see your home value, we have a sales hack in here where we're asking for his name, email address, phone number. That comes to you again as what we call a hot lead response, allowing you to build that conversation going. Now with our postcards, we're averaging a 1 to 2% response rate. So based on 50 to 100 postcards, you're usually seeing at least one response on each one of those. So it's a really good system for under $1. We've been seeing quite great responses in certain areas, and it's been really strong in that Georgia area too. I mentioned too that we added in a Facebook feature. Now, of course, you can go out and create your own Facebook boost ads and things like that for people who are following you. We partnered with a company to be able to do newsfeed ads, which again, you can go out and do your own newsfeed ad. It's available, but it is very time consuming, especially with the way Facebook has been buying a lot of technology and adding a lot of different rules all the time to be able to keep up with. That's what our partner makes it a little bit easier to do. So right from the email, if you have a Facebook business page, you can click this, and we have 3 options. There's a 3-day ad at $69, a 7-day ad is $139, and then a 14-day ad is $249. But it's a newsfeed ad linked to your Facebook business page that when people interact with, they're going to go back out to that landing page for the property, and then you're going to get a lead response with their name, email address, and phone number, their Facebook credentials. These leads here automatically link in back into your KV Core piece too. So that's a great part of that. You can do these for just listed properties, just sold properties, as well as promoting your open house, even if it's a virtual or a virtual tour home. You can go in and do that as well. Facebook ads been doing great. We're seeing on a 7-day ad an average of about 2,500 views. That's people seeing the newsfeed ad. And usually between 10 to 14 interactions with it, meaning they're clicking the ad, and then we're able to capture their Facebook credentials and forward that on. And of course, we're utilizing that Facebook rule setting, so we're going out about 10 to 15 miles. So it's still targeted, but it's going out and it's trying to find, again, homeowners and such, what we can try to find. I know there's some things built in there that we can do for finding homeowners or people that's been searching for homes. So great, so let's go over here. So I pulled up a copy of one of the emails that went out a little while ago. And so this is a live ad. So this is what it looks like when you get your emails. And they're going to be coming from Quantum Digital MLS notification, info@Quantum Digital. Now keep that in mind, because as we're welcoming you guys on board, you're going to be receiving things from info@Quantum Digital and newsletter at Quantum Digital, where we do promos and things like that. Now that's where I'll be sending out this video for you guys to have a copy of. So, but this is where we send these notifications out. We do them now today we did them really late because it was our launch day, but usually it's going to be around the 6 to 8 a.m. timeline is when you should start seeing these. But right from here, you can proof your postcard, hit order now right from the email. And this is what most people do after they add their credit card. they don't ever interact with the website. They just do everything right from the email. And that's fine. You can do that. You have the two options here for doing a direct mail order or a Facebook ad. Now, keep in mind, we're always going to send to the 50 neighbors around the property, even if you, which I'll show you how you can do this, but even if you wanted to add in, let's say, your sphere of influence or something like that. The reason being is the program is developed and it's highly automated to get you in connection with new people within that neighborhood and to market within that new neighborhood. So we proof our postcard. I had the proof on this. The one thing I do ask that if you're going in to do these orders on the postcards, please proof your postcard and make sure. As I was going through and testing some this morning, I did see some secondary photos and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're using a photo that's of the house, a market photo like this one here. What are homes selling for in your area? This is a listed postcard. So you want to make sure that that is a good card to send. Once you're happy with that, all you have to do is go back and hit order now. So since it's the first day of this program, we don't have everybody's credit card information or anything like that. So the first time you do this, you're going to be opted into opted in to add your credit card information. So when you hit order now, it's going to take you to our profile page where you're going to be asked to put in your credit card information. This part of the site is secure, and I'm in a sample account right now, but this part of the site is secure. So once you save this information, it'll process your order for you. And then it'll save it for all your future orders. So next time you get a new listing, you won't have to do that again. You'll hit order now, we'll take care of the rest. The postcards here, as I mentioned, they're 8.5 by 5.5 size. We call it jumbo. They are full color, and they're 100-pound, which is kind of a middle cardstock with a UV coating. And the postcards are optimized for the postal system. And as I mentioned, we're a pre-sort facility here. So we pre-sort it through our sorting systems here, and then we drop ship them to a sorting system up north so they can go through the process a lot faster. Sent out with first class postage, you're hitting an average of 5 to 8 business days. Sometimes 3 to 8 business days would probably be the best way to say that. So they're getting there really fast. You may see some things though as I go through that order process. So keep in mind the post office is optimized for letter mailing. So our system, which has barcode information on it, let me show you one of the cards here really quick. So so we're going to have where the recipient information is, we're going to have a barcode here that the post office is able to read and scan through. So it's optimized for that process to go as best as it can. But we do have some situations where, if you've ever sent direct mail before, you know this already. There may be some what we call smudging or things like that going through those sorting systems. That may happen. But if you see like really excessive stuff, please reach out to our support team and we'll take a look at it and see if we need to have some conversations with the post office. We definitely like to do that as much as we need to. So if you receive your email though, and let's say you want to you proof your postcard, it's a picture of the master bathroom, not of the house. So you can the one thing you can do with the TriggerMarketing cards is you can update that photo. Or we have some cards, because there's a lot of Harry Norman agents that do co-listing and co-selling properties and things like that. You receive, you proof your postcard, and maybe the teams are using the same photos, and you want to update your photo so it doesn't look the same. I can show you how to do that here too. But all you'll have to do from the email is click Make Changes. It's going to take you into the TriggerMarketing dashboard. And I take that back. If you click Make Changes on that particular one, it's going to take you into this page here. And so let's say for the postcard, you want to go in and change that property photo. You can go right in here and you can edit this card and you can update the photo. When you click this, it'll have all the photos that are linked in with that property. As you can see, I've got all these different property photos here that you can choose from. So let's say it was like this photo here. You can go in and say, oh, well, I want it to be, well, it's up there already, but I want it to be this photo, or whatever you wanted it to do there. You're able to update that. So once you find the picture you want to do, you just you click preview. My voice is cracking. Takes a second to generate a PDF proof, and I always suggest looking at that. It's going to pull up in your download, and you say, all right, this looks great. And of course, those who already have a secondary logo, we're pulling that on the back side right here, just to let you know. But everything looks great on this card. What our home's selling for in your area. We've got the QR code on both sides, and we always suggest doing it on both sides. I promise you, having it on both sides doubles the response rates that we see over accounts that only have a response on one side. There's the recipient information that'll show up down there. So it's good to go. So right from here, I hit yes, I've reviewed this, hit continue, and then I can place my orders for my 50 postcards. They're 89 cents a postcard with first class postage. So this is a built-in system. If you were to do this in our DIY, for example, you'd be paying, I think, 99 cents a card because of the extra having to add the extra stuff to it, like the postage and everything. But we built that all into this system. It does 51 postcards because we're going to send you a confirmation card to your office there. So you have a card that comes to you and you're seeing exactly what the market's seeing. Okay. Now you have a few other options here. So if you wanted to go in and let's say you wanted to change it out, we have 3 different designs that are available. So we use that one as the default, but if you wanted to use this one, let's select this card so you can get a good look at it here. Same information, just a different little bit of a variance on the design. What are homes selling for in your area? So it's got a little bit of a change there. Still the same information on the back. Or maybe you wanted to try the other card we have here too. I like this one here as well. Same variation to the original card, just the photo is a little skewed, that's all. And again, same language on the address side. So you have some options here. And then of course the only edit you can do to these templates is the property photo. Okay. And this is the one card where it has a property photo in the front and the back. So technically it's going to show the same photo on both sides, but yeah, it's just an additional design to have something different. Okay. Now let's say also from that login, it's going to have access to your entire dashboard. So if you're in your mail in your emails and you just want to go to your TriggerMarketing dashboard, if you hit make changes and then hit properties, it'll show you every listing we have assigned for you. Okay, whether it's a listed, an active property or a sold property. You can break those down like this, and then later on you can even do ones that don't have orders. So there's a lot of different things you can do here. You can search by MLS. If you've not received a notification for a property that you think you should have, you can always go to this dashboard, which is also accessible through the marketing tab on the internet. You're able to come in here and find it in here. You should be able to find it. If not, you can always reach out to us and then we'll try to see if there was an issue in getting that. Now, the listings that went out this morning, we only went back 14 days. That was all we can get data for. So what you should see is for any listed or sold property from the last 14 business days, 14 days. If you have a property that's a little bit older that maybe you sold and you'd like to do a mailing for it, you can come over here to this add a property and search for the MLS. There's a good chance that we probably have it already. Now I just picked one that was out there, and then you just link it to your account. And then once you link it to your account, you'll be able to place orders for it. See, it's right here. You can do your order right here, and you can even go in and do a Facebook ad order, anything that you want to do from there. So what else is on the dashboard here? It's gonna, wow, it's got all of our sample orders we did. It's gonna show you every order you've done. And then of course, anytime you have any lead response information, as you can see, I got some here, it's gonna show you how they responded. Now, again, we send that to you in your email, but this is gonna track that data as well. So it'll show you the person who interacted with it. This one we were able to get a phone number for. And then as you click it, it'll tell you what property it was for, the status of that property, and when they did all that. And then down in the settings, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. So let's say if you wanted to modify your agent photo, you can come in here under your profile. Now your profile information is coming to us from Harry Norman directly. So when you update it at Harry Norman, we're going to get that information. Ignore this little A, it's just a code thing in our sample account. We'll have your credit card payment information right here too, but you can go down here to update your photo, and it'll take you over to our area on our website where you can update the photo right there. Oh, it knocked me out, didn't it? Oh, no, it didn't. And of course, the logo we already have. So the other thing you can do with the settings is if you wanted to modify your your quantities, again, we're always going to do the first 50 neighbors around that property. But if you wanted to change it to 75, you can do that, or 100. Maybe you want to do 50 listed, but on solds, you want to do 100. You just do that, click save, and it's saved. Now I've got test lists in here, and I'm going to show you all the list features next week when we do the AutoMail training. But if you have a list that you want to upload, you can upload that list and select it from here, and that could be available for all of your TriggerMarketing listings. You can also go out, again, this is something I'm going to show next week because there's a lot of prospecting that goes along with this, but you can use some of our listing features to create a marketing list to add to your TriggerMarketing, and load that in here as well. Once you do that, and save it to your account, it'll be available for any TriggerMarketing orders that you do. And then of course, designs. We have this default here, but if let's say you like this one instead, you can say, well, for listed, I want to do this one. And for sold, I want to do this one. So you can set those as your defaults. That works great. And of course, you're going to see all this new designs available because it's a new program. I'm going to explain the Facebook ads in just a second here, but you can come in and this is where you would manage your Facebook business page. And then of course you can go in and set, let's say 7-day ads. You can set that as your default. So every time you receive a notification, you'll receive an option to do a 7-day ad right away. And then we have an option to do automatic ordering. So for every listing we receive, if you select this, we'll just automatically do the order for you. We'll still send you the email and everything, but you won't have to worry about going in and placing the order. So that's available for both just listed and just sold. Just keep in mind that every time you do that, every time we receive that listing, it's going to hit your credit card. So I know a lot of people probably, maybe that makes sense for doing sold listings, but I know you sometimes want to watch your just listed marketing, so that makes sense. So from the email, let's say you wanted to try the Facebook ad feature. I did a Facebook ad with an agent. I was at a trade show event, and she had a property she was having a hard time selling in Miami. And she's like, can you help me do an ad? I said, sure. So we got her Facebook stuff. She did an ad. She got 19 responses off of it. One of them was what we call that hot lead from the website. And that one was the one that closed on that property. So that's kind of my biggest success story from doing Facebook ads. They do work. It's really a great product tool. But you can come in and let's say, since it's a just listed, it's an active property, I can do a just listed ad or an open house ad. So once I do that, it's going to take me into that property, and I can Say for this, I'm going to do a just listed ad, and I'm going to do it for 7 days. We offer the 3-day ads as kind of an introductory if you've never done Facebook advertising before. They do get still quite a bit of views and responses, but Facebook always suggests at least doing a 4-day ad. So I always suggest doing the 7-day ad. It's $139 for the week, and it's a really great way to kind of build up your contacts here. It's going to ask for your Facebook business page. And then this is what an example of the ad looks like. And unfortunately, I can't blow it up too big, but it's going to say the language on these are generally active nearby in this town, or check out this recently sold property or this recently listed property. It goes across the board of Meta. So while Facebook is the place the ad usually pops up on, they do in certain areas. There's a I don't want to call it an algorithm, but there's a piece within the process that our partner does with this, where if they're seeing more traffic on Instagram, they'll pop the ad over on Instagram. I've not seen the ad show up on Instagram. I have seen it show up on Facebook, but they do tell us that it goes on both sites. The only thing you can change on this is the property photo ad, but that's what it looks like. Again, it links into your Facebook business page. About $20 a day for this. And then you just hit the order now button, and then we process it. The first time you do a Facebook ad, you will have to give us some permissions. So you'll usually get a message from our customer support team asking you to do that, and they'll walk you through that process. And then after that, you don't have to worry about that ever again. But you do have to give us permissions on the first time because we're doing an ad on your behalf. And then the ad's out there for people to see. For a 7-day ad, it'll show for the 7 days you have it. Open house ads, which I was happy to see this. I've been with the company. I am celebrating 17 years. Tuesday was my 17th anniversary with the company. And I spent a few years working with our support staff. So we would always get these people who are like, hey, I got an open house this weekend. I want to send some postcards out. I'm like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't advise doing that because it's not going to hit the market, with enough time. With Facebook ads, you can kind of do that because that's what I was excited about. You could say, hey, I got not this weekend, but let's say you have an open house coming up next week. You could do this ad and promote that ad here, say here's the date, here's the time, and it's going to get some eyes and traffic of people who may stop by and see your open house for that date. The other thing we added during the pandemic was the ability to do a virtual open house. So if you're doing virtual open houses, probably not a lot of people are doing that anymore, but what I thought this was a great tool for was if you're doing virtual tour, you can put your virtual tour URL in here and then do an ad to kind of promote traffic to your virtual tour. So it's another way to do that. And we have Luke Trigwell's been to our facility, and in our front foyer area, we have this map we have a live monitor there, and it shows all the different orders and everything. But it shows you some of the Facebook ads and some of the lead responses. And in some markets, we're seeing people in 7-day ads get 30 responses. I saw one that had like 60 responses within a week. It was in the North Carolina area. So people do interact with this stuff. Again, it depends on the market and depends on the need there. So some of the other things that I was seeing in questions, a lot of this stuff, again, list type stuff, target demographics and things like that, we'll cover in our AutoMail training. But we have, outside of TriggerMarketing, it's its own, we kind of separate TriggerMarketing and AutoMail. It's its own app, right? So they function out here. But if you go into the Harry Norman intranet and you click Quantum Digital, it's going to take you to this page here. So you can come through here, and this will show you all the information down on my account. You can see where your headshot is, well, we're always going to pull in the office address, and I always suggest doing that. Don't ever put your personal information on a postcard. But it'll have your billing information. This is where you can go in and update your credit card. And then, of course, the login information is automated. You don't have to worry about that, as well as the company information. If there's ever any kind of marketing funds, we'll put that over here as well. But your contact information that's stored on your account is managed through your intranet, so you only have to update it there. Next day, we'll get that information and we'll update your account automatically. But we have a full design suite that's available for you here. I don't think they're live yet, but we have some farming cards that are coming out soon that I'll cover next week. I mean, here's a shot of what they look like. So we'll have some seasonal cards that are here. There's a lot of different stuff that goes on with this site here. So if you're just going to our intranet and you just click the Trigger Marketing for properties, that's going to take you right into that Trigger Marketing tab. So it's another place you can go to kind of interact with Trigger Marketing, but most of it's going to happen through the email address. Through here too, you can see some of our file specs, our list features, and I'm going to touch this again. I'm going to go in depth on this during the AutoMail training, but we have some features here for. We use a thing called neighbor mail for Trigger Marketing, but we have a few different ways to build lists online for doing prospecting, and we have target demographics that you can utilize that kind of help you drill down and find your perfect prospect. That's my favorite bit. We'll be going into that. All of your saved lists, when anybody interacts with your Trigger Marketing, you're going to see them show up in this group here, the lead list. Wow, I've got 29 already off of my test group. So these are people that interact with your Trigger Marketing postcards. So that's all saved there. And another thing I didn't cover this in the settings here. Another thing you can pull up, you should be able to pull up the report information here from the properties. Nope, I'm sorry, it's probably in the order section. Yeah, you can download this as a CSV folder to kind of see all of your interactions and all of the stuff and kind of get a really good ROI on the type of marketing you're doing for your listed and sold properties and things like that. I know it's a lot of information I just threw at everybody. So I'm going to pop over here and see if there's any questions. Oh, wow, there's a lot. Okay, so everybody's not staring at you. Let me stop sharing for just a second. You're not staring at yourselves. So I'm going to run through your questions here and I'll pop in and show you. Can agent change photo selection on card? The property photo is the only thing you can change. So you can, as I mentioned, you can go in and change the property photo out. The reason the text is identical on both sides is that type of language, there's not much more to put on the postcard to kind of engage. We've been testing that for probably 12 or 13 years, and we've done stuff that had some variance in the, let me go back to this here, in the Trigger Marketing postcards, and we've found that when the cards have that same language, it seems that we see a lot more responses. So the what are homes selling for? Compare your property, compare your home to this one here. It's really to get people to just go out and visit that website so we can capture who they are. So we don't want to put property prices or anything like that on the card. We want them to go out to the website so we can capture their information. Oops. So let's see, if there are both single family homes and condos nearby, can we specify that card only go to single family homes? It does only, I might have to follow up with you on that, but let me write that down, Sarah. Just because I think condos are not specified as if they're not specified as single family homes, and we skip that. We're looking for likewise properties. So the house, if it's a $500,000 home, um, 6 bedrooms, it's going to try to find likewise size homes. So if there is a condo unit next door, it should skip that over automatically. And what if I didn't receive my initial email? You can go into you should be able to go into the dashboard from, let me show this real quick here. I guess I can just keep this on, right? So if maybe, let's say you don't have a listing currently. So what you can do is if you go to the marketing tab and go down to Quantum Digital, if you click the Quantum Digital tab, it'll take you to this page here. And if you have a property that maybe it's older or something like that, just hit Trigger Marketing right here, and it's going to take you right into that Trigger Marketing dashboard. So if you do have a listing that you didn't that should have probably been received, or maybe it was a little bit older than 14 days, you can go that route and then go into the add a property and search for the MLS number first, because it's likely I have it listed here. If you don't, you can always just fill out the information right here, build the property, and then add the photos. Another thing that's just brought up I didn't think about. I don't expect this to happen because the data is being managed so well. But if, for example, you have a property that went pending, or it went sold, and for some reason we didn't get that information updated, you can always reach out to our support staff, and they can help flip that property into a sold status for you. Now, if you have a property that was listed, it went into pending and then went relisted, or whatever, something happened with the pending property, and it's listed again, we're not going to send you another notification. But if you want to do an order for it, you can always just come right back to that property here and do the order right from your dashboard. And now keep in mind, none of us expect you to be an expert on this at all, even right from the start. So if you go down here to help, you can chat with us online with our customer support staff, or you can call us Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 Eastern time. We've got a really great support staff. There's a few people over here that's been here for 20 years. They know this website even better than I do. They are in there all day long. They can help you go through the order process. They can help you with any issues that you have. You're always going to get a human when you call us during business hours, at least. You're always going to get Madi Cruz is the person that works up front. It's usually her. She answers the phone. She moves you over to our customer support staff, Monica and her team. You'll talk to somebody over there, and they will definitely help you. We have what's called our WOW policy. So if you're having a problem with something, we're always going to try to find out what happened and come to a fair resolution, so you can always feel like you're being taken care of. We never want you to walk away feeling like I didn't get what I needed from that. So you can always feel comfortable calling our support staff. They're there to help you with this stuff. How can we add our logo to the postcard? So if you already have let's say you have your own personal logo, we should have it already added to your account. My sample account didn't have it. This preview has a sample logo down here. So yeah, you can see that there. So if you had a logo, we already should have it on your account. And we've built all these postcards to add that automatically, and it's on the address side. Can social ads post a personal page rather than business page? Now, the Facebook rules on advertising, doing a newsfeed advertisement, means that they limit it to you have to actually have a business page for us to promote to it. That's a Facebook advertising rule. What triggers the just listed campaign? Will coming soon status activate the process? I'm glad you asked that, because they did not cover that. Thank you. what triggers the campaign is active listed or sold. So if a listing changes to pending, or you put in something that says coming soon, we're not going to see those changes. Only if it's listed as you put it into the MLS information at Harry Norman and it's active, we will get that the very next business day. And then we'll only get the sold information if it changes the status to sold. Once it does that, we're going to get that notification. We're going to push that to you. So hang on, I want to go over some of these other questions here. Minimum order quantity, as I mentioned, is for trigger marketing alone, it's 50. Everything else, it's only 20. It's just trigger marketing is built with a 50 pieces because it's about really getting those communications out. For the more you send out, the better your response rates can be. Each card for trigger marketing is, again, it's an 8.5 by 5.5 jumbo postcard, full color, 100 pound. And I know, what does 100 pound mean? 100 pound is a card stock. It's a kind of like most business cards are 130 pounds, so it's a little bit lighter than a business card, and it's got a UV coating on it. It's an extra protectant going through the process, the postage process. Delivery speed, every postcard sent with trigger marketing is sent with first class postage, so it's going to take between 3 to 8 business days. These other ones I'll answer next week. With trigger marketing, it's only available for the direct mail system. So with these ones here, one of the questions I saw that we got from the announcement the other day was, where is it? Can the cards be shipped to me? Every card that you do on demand can happen, but these automated cards, because they're interactive with the QR code stuff, those ones cannot. Let's see. There was a question that came up, can I include a QR code on line designs I upload? Yeah, that you can do any of that as long as it's a finished size, or excuse me, a finished design. When you do an upload, you can do that and have a QR code in there too. That's fine. Any of our automated systems, we're going to add a QR code to kind of push that along. So will leads feed into my KV Core automatically? Okay, so this is a little something we've been working on with KV Core. We with trigger marketing, we have 2 separate type of lead pieces. The first interaction is what we call a warm lead response. So we call those responses. So that's going to have the name, mailing address, and if they have a landline phone number, it'll include there. KV Core uses the email address as the identifier for every record within that system. So if somebody interacts with the postcard and they go out to the landing page and they interact with the landing page and fill out the information, you're getting their name, email address, and phone number, those will automatically go into KV Core. The responses, those will, I think you can try to upload them in there, but I think without an email address, it'll override it and won't allow it to go through. We've been working with KV Core for the last few years trying to get some changes done with that, and as we get through there, if we do get a change on that, I will definitely let everybody know. Are there different postcard thicknesses available? In our automated system, no. We locked it down to the optimized postcards going through the postage system. So that would be that 100-pound UV coating with the gloss. Where do you do the targeted? So our targeted mailing list that we pull for trigger marketing. So we have a list partner that, and we check this information out really often to make sure we're getting the best data we can get. We get our information for the list features on the targeting lists. And again, we have an algorithm looking for likewise homes and homeowners. But we update that data every 6 weeks. So we're getting fresh data every 6 weeks for that area. So it's the most active information, or most up-to-date information, excuse me, that we can get. Now, there will be times where 1 or 2 might be out of date or older information because the information hasn't updated yet. That may occur, but we are getting the most up-to-date information for those markets. How are agents notified when new leads? We send you an email anytime somebody interacts with the postcards. You're going to get an email instantaneous from, let me try to see if I can grab you one here. Now, it's not going to be a Harry Norman one, but let's see, lead response. Here's what they'll look like. New warm response from, oh, that's from, well, it's the same thing. That's from Automail, but it would say TriggerMarketing postcards. Quantum Digital lead notification, info at Quantum Digital, and it'll show you the information we're capturing, how they did it, and where we're saving it at. So that's just one from our I just pulled from random. But so we're sending you that in real time every time somebody interacts with the postcards. There's some other questions that came up that we will cover with the Automail stuff. How does Quantum Digital interact with USPS? So we are a pre-sort manifest system. So we have in our facility here, we have pre-sort computers back here. So we run them through this little, that barcode runs everything through the sorter system back there and puts everything into the let's call it the squares for the different zip codes and stuff. So we pre-sort that information as a manifest site. There is a sorting center right down the street, not even a quarter mile down the road, that we take every day to that postage site, and it's drop shipped up and runs through the other sorting centers up in that area there to try to give it a little bit faster move time. So we're pretty tight with the post office. We are one of the post office's top customers, as well as I mentioned, a manifest center. So that's why I mentioned too, if you're seeing some really, and I know some of you are familiar with it, but some really chewed up things coming through the post office, definitely reach out to our support team. What we do is our customer support manager will reach out to the post office, try to find out where this is happening at. And a lot of times it's because the actuators in their sorting systems need to be updated, or well, quite honestly, the post office has been trying to run a lot of systems. We have 7 people running our sort systems. A lot of times they have just 2. So those cards and those mailers are sitting right on that sorting belt, and just for quite a while. But we do try to see if we can make that process or those type of things stop. But we'll also always try to make sure that you feel like you're being taken care of. So if we have to go through and give you credit for an order, that's fine if we have to do that. If you're seeing something really damaged, we will try to do everything we can to fix it as best we can. Is there anything in place to mitigate mailing mishaps? So again, since we're putting everything on the card, and the cards are automated with the recipient information, we shouldn't have any problems. There are going to be some times where, again, an address information, the homeowner moved, a while back or something, and he just the information hasn't been updated before. So that stuff happens. If you report it to us, we report it to our list person, and we try to update that. So we usually see quite a bit of less return mail too. Let's see. So with TriggerMarketing and Automail, which we'll cover next week, we only have Harry Norman templates. So everything that's going to be there is going to be approved Harry Norman pieces. So you can feel good about going in there and making sure we've preset our printers out here to make sure we're printing the logo correctly and doing everything we can to make sure everything is consistent going through that process. There's a question here: can the agent's personal home address be added to the mailing automatically when doing a quantum using a QD pulled list? You can do that by going into, so if you wanted to make your personal address in here, my best suggestion would be is to come through the marketing tab, click Quantum Digital, go over to My Lists, go down here to upload my list, and build a list online, and we'll say personal. Now we're gonna manifest one to your office address, but let's say I want to go to, I'm gonna put my information in here. That's actually my office information, and we'll save record. And when I do this, it's going to cast certify it, make sure it's deliverable, and done. So then what I would do is, if you want this to always go to your trigger marketing list, so then why is it? Let me close that here. Then I would come back to, I'm going too fast, I'm sorry. Come back to your start page, and then go to trigger marketing, and then go to settings, recipients. It's going to take a second, and then you can see this. You see this personal here. We're going to click that. There's only one address there. That's fine. And now, there we go. So once I click this, and this is changed here, this check mark, that's going to be saved for all future orders. So there's going to be the 50 neighbors. So then when I go to properties, for example, I'm going to hit start order. And if you remember it, before it said 51, it should now say 52. So it's going to be the 50 neighbors around my personal address, and then I'm going to get one at home, or excuse me, at the office. So you don't have to do that, but it's there to always go to your office. Can we preview the list before mailing? No, we don't generate those lists until we go to the mail feature. But if you really wanted to see the full list, you can always reach out to our support team, and we can pull that and send it to you. Now, the GoToMeeting may give us a warning and knock us off, so I didn't want to do that without having a close here. So again, any other questions, you can always send it up to Heather in marketing. She'll get the information to me, and I'll answer those as best I can. Next week, let's see, that is, sorry, I'm going blank here. That is going to be next Thursday. Nope. It's Wednesday, right? Yes, next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We have the AutoMail training class that we're going to walk through. Now that one is, it's going to be the same timeline. And let me stop sharing here. It's going to be about the same time, about an hour or so. And we're going to go through the entire AutoMail system. I'll show you that campaign tool. I'm really excited about that because that's my favorite tool that we have. It's a great way to do some campaign stuff. So I hope you learned a lot from this. I will send all this, I'll package this video up here in the next day or two. It's going to come from our newsletters at Quantum Digital. Thanks for joining me today, and have a great day. Welcome to the Quantum Digital.
Thank you, Harry.